So I was planning on saving it until the regular season, but I had to bust out the blazer this morning because I'm talking money. Brandon Aiyuk, Trent Williams, Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel. I think he's going to potentially stay with the 49ers a lot longer than some people think he will, even after the Brandon Aiyuk deal. Money conversations mean the blazer comes on. By the way, the reason I'm in this room is because I'm at the lounge, the Maple Leaf Lounge at SFO. This might be one of the nicest lounges at SFO. This time I'm flying Air Canada, headed to Montreal, the closest that you're going to get to Europe in North America for Labor Day weekend. So we'll show off some of that food, but now we got to talk about some of these contract numbers. The details have not come out yet, but I can say, this is my reporting, this is confirmed, that the cap hits for Brandon Aiyuk's contract are going to be low for the 49ers for the first 3 years. This is what we call a backloaded deal, front-loaded money for Brandon Aiyuk, but a backloaded deal. This is how you attain the win-win. You pay out guaranteed money. The guaranteed money prorates against the salary cap. It's exactly how I projected this contract back in April. You can see the accordion-style structure against the cap. If you give Brandon Aiyuk a big signing bonus, if you give him a big guaranteed option bonuses, I'm sure the 49ers have run the staggered bonus structure, maybe even 2 guaranteed option bonuses that kick in over the next 2 years to give him that $90 million over the first 3 years. But if you do that, you can stretch the cap hits out over 5 years. So that's the formula for the 49ers. That's how they're able to afford all of this. They are surfing the wave of the rising salary cap. As NFL revenues rise, so does the salary cap. So the way that we're looking at this right now from San Francisco's perspective is they would rather have money hit against their salary cap later than now, because if the salary cap is rising, then every dollar spent now is a larger percentage of the salary cap than a dollar spent later. So it's called flow control. You move that money into the future. The goal from the team in this Brandon Aiyuk negotiation was not to shortchange Brandon Aiyuk, but it was to establish a structure of the deal that allowed them the flow control to move the money backwards. Because if you move the money backwards and the cap hits are small for the next 3 years, you can fit Brock Purdy, and you can do the same thing with Brock Purdy next year. You could do a similar thing with Trent Williams and execute a win-win right now. That's what they did with Christian McCaffrey. That was a win-win. He got more money. 49ers got more cap flexibility just a couple months ago. So now they're going to try to do that with Trent Williams to finish their offseason business. Then Brock Purdy's going to be eligible for a new deal. Assuming the salary cap keeps rising, then you could also talk about Deebo Samuel, who has 2 years left on his contract. In the case of Samuel, it's all tied to productivity. You give guaranteed money if somebody is available and somebody's productive. An example of somebody that wasn't consistently available, so the 49ers asked him to take a pay cut, and then he left, was Eric Armstead. He missed 13 games over 2 years. But if Deebo Samuel looks as good as he has over the course of this preseason, 49ers have every reason to double down on their commitment to Deebo Samuel. And they could open up even more money as they do that. I think he's got a $23 million cap hit next year. Maybe it's even higher. They can actually lower that, push that money into the future, and keep the core together. Listen, the 49ers have paid more star players under this regime than any team in the NFL. So they know what they're doing. Anybody who goes online and says, oh, they don't know what they're doing, they're really good at this business. Juszczyk at the top of the fullback market twice. Garoppolo, the top paid quarterback in 2018. Kittle, the top paid tight end in 2020. Trent Williams, the top paid offensive lineman in 21. And I think he might become the top paid lineman again here in 2024. Fred Warner, the top paid linebacker in 21. Deebo Samuel, not the top paid receiver, but a really well paid receiver in 22. Bosa, the top paid defender in 2023. And Brandon Aiyuk, a very well paid receiver in 2024. Add in Christian McCaffrey at the top of the running back room. And also Javon Hargrave, who's not at the top of the defensive tackle room, but handsomely rewarded. So the 49ers have a track record of getting these deals done. They have paid every single homegrown player at this point that's been drafted by this regime. No, DeForest Buckner doesn't count. He was not drafted by this regime. They are very, very good at this business. Somebody asked me, about Purdy, and I said, I predict Purdy will ask for his market value. The 49ers will pay it, and the core, thanks to more good cap management, which San Francisco was able to again achieve in the Aiyuk deal, will stay together by way of surfing a rising salary cap. The 49ers have proven to be very good at this business. So what happens next is that we wait to see what the exact numbers are. But I can guarantee you that the cap hits are going to be low early in the contract. It's going to be reflective of the structure that I outlined back in April when I was charting out this Brandon Aiyuk deal. There's going to be finally an end to all these stupid arguments about who won the deal. Well, the goal for a deal in business is to get a win-win. It's to get both sides happy. If both sides are equally happy and equally pissed off, you probably have a good deal. And that's kind of the sense that I got coming out of that contract yesterday with Ryan Williams tweeting, trying to correct Adam Schefter by 2 days. I mean, at the end, it was a little comical. It was just bickering back and forth. But at the end of the day, the 49ers wanted to get the structure that can help them fit everything under the hood, salary cap wise. Brandon Aiyuk wanted the money, and maybe Ryan Williams and Brandon Aiyuk wanted the vanity number of $30 million per year as well. It obviously wasn't the very top of the market. It was in that second tier. It's good that the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk agreed on the second tier. The top of the market would be $34 million per year for Jefferson and Lamb. Brandon Aiyuk was behind that at $30 million per year. We'll see what the fully guaranteed money is, but I've already looked at some of the clues. $47 million is going to be coming to Brandon Aiyuk over the course of the next 8 months, which suggests that there's another misconception. This is not the Amon-Ra St. Brown deal. There's going to be more fully guaranteed money here than the Amon-Ra St. Brown deal, which again is how the 49ers made this a win-win. Because more guaranteed money makes Brandon Aiyuk and Ryan Williams happy, and it also allows the 49ers to stretch it out against the salary cap. This is how cash-rich teams are able to stockpile the best rosters possible in the NFL. So now the 49ers have to turn around. They have to figure out a way to get this done with Trent Williams. You could use the same mechanics to establish a win-win situation. If you're able to get all that done, then the roster is locked, loaded, ready to go. As far as roster impact goes, how about that 49ers receiving room? Aiyuk, Samuel, Jennings, Pearsall, Cowing, Conley, add on George Kittle, add on Christian McCaffrey. I mean, this is a loaded team. So you add Trent Williams, he's got a little bit of pass protection on top of that separation. Got one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Brock Purdy. They were already the #1 offense in the NFL last season. I think the only place to go now is up for the 49ers, even if they were #1. This Brandon Aiyuk deal is huge for them as far as their mission to kick down the door and win a Super Bowl while keeping it financially sustainable.